Alright, it's 2 in the afternoon. I'm still in my pajamas, and we're gonna make more bread. This time it's a different recipe, and I already started it because you get to make a sponge first, which like you pour some yeast and water into a bowl and then go like wait 5 minutes and then add some flour, stir it a bunch and your arm hurts, and then you go leave it for an hour. So that felt like just like too short of a thing. Also, I just noticed now my camera battery is low, which is unfortunate. So I'm at least gonna do this step of the bread making process. I've got my sponge. It looks like goo. Gonna add 2 teaspoons of salt. Yeah. We're gonna remember to put the salt away because we don't want to leave it out. That would be mean. We've got our softened butter that I actually remembered to soften. I remembered to soften the butter this time. I'm very proud of myself. So this butter's been on the counter for like an hour. Because when I made the sponge, I got the butter out because I wanted to get it right this time and not forget to soften my butter. And then I went and left it for like an hour and a half-ish or something. I don't know. I didn't look at the clock. I just went, worked on something, ate some spaghetti, and then came back and was like, this is close enough to an hour-ish. Probably more than an hour, if anything. But like, you know, whatever. And then we get to add 2 cups of flour. The sponge had 2 cups of flour. You do half the flour then, half the flour now. It's, you know. Alright. And then I have to shed all of my jewelry because we're going to be kneading this dough, and I would prefer to not get bread dough on my jewelry. So I have to remember to take it all off, which is annoying. Alright, one arm is free. The other one is easier. I just have to like take off my watch and hair ties and that bracelet. Alright, we're good to go. Alright, I'm gonna go wash my hands now because we're about to manhandle some bread. That is the proper term, by the way, manhandling. You manhandle bread. Oh, shucks. I should probably get rid of this very, very small spatula. It's a good one. We've got 3 spatulas, I think. And then we just get to mix up some bread. Just manhandle it. I pre-cut the butter into chunks, just because I figured that would help a little bit, you know? Instead of having it be one big butter chunk, it would be a few smaller butter chunks. And I get to squeeze it and have it look like that. Hooray! Bread, such an elegant process, truly. Okay. So refined. I don't want to use my other hand in case I have to like turn off my camera before it dies and like plug it in because I don't want to get like bread dough in it because that would suck. My camera's not that old. I do not want to get bread dough in it. But like I feel like I'm gonna have to. So I have to deal with the issue of, do I stop recording now so I don't get bread dough on my camera, or do I get bread dough on my camera? You know? I gotta cut and and then we're gonna grab the rest of this. Oh, I can hear running on the stairs of the cats. Oh, I could have sworn. Okay, yeah, 2 of them are up here, which means that that was Taco. The elusive Taco, who just hangs out downstairs in Dad's office. Because she is a working cat. And she works. She's got her tower right by the desk. That is just a straight up chunk of butter in my dough. That needs to be smooshed better. Okay, I have to use the second hand. It's just... There you go. Yeah. I mean, it's just bread. Bread just likes to stick to everything. Ever. Which we appreciate. Because it also is so gosh darn hard to clean off your gosh darn hands, you know? No. I like making bread with a bread hook a little more than I like making bread with my hands, you know? Like, I understand the hands-on process of smooshing bread is fun. But for convenience's sake, making it with a bread hook is just a little easier, you know? There's a little less hand washing involved. Not like, okay, you should wash your hands, but I mean there's a little less trying to wash bread dough off your hands hand washing, you know? Which is way harder because bread dough does not want to come off of your hands. It would like to live on your hands forever. Like, its ideal life is just forever on your hands, you know? And trying to wash bread dough off of your hands is the worst. It is absolutely no fun. Now, I don't actually know what the next step in this recipe is yet. I'm gonna guess that post kneading the bread is having a rise. That's my guess, since that would make sense. You know? I could be wrong. I do have to check, since I don't know what my next step is. And that would involve washing all of the bread dough off my hands. The least favorite part of making bread. All right. Okay, I'm at least gonna wash the one hand so I can go use my phone and figure out what my next step will be. Okay. My one good hand is good. Yeah, so I think I knead this a bunch and then let it rise for a few hours. Awesome. I just, had to check. Didn't know. I'm gonna add a little bit more flour just so it's a little less sticky on my hands and on my cutting board. Not that much, just a little. Oh gosh, I'm just making noise at this point. Yeah. Got lots of practice from learning how to make baguettes a few years ago. The recipe refers to this step as mouching the dough. Oh gosh, I almost elbowed this into the glass cup, which would have been unfortunate. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to elbow it into a glass container. Yeah, so it's 2 o'clock Sunday. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm making a mess and knocking things around. It's almost the end of the school year. Got 2 weeks left for me, which is bonkers. Because that's summer. And I had been planning to have a summer job and everything. I was like, there's a camp that normally I go to every summer that I can't go to now, but I had applied for a job there. And I also had a backup job working at the costume shop for school over the summer, because normally they do an opera over the summer, but that's been canceled. So now I'm I was planning on working over the summer, having a fun time either being a camp counselor or sewing some costumes, which I'll still do when school starts up in the fall, hopefully. I'll go apply to be in the costume shop, but I was kind of hoping to do it over the summer. But I can't do that now because both of those things have been canceled. So instead, I guess I'm just gonna work on projects, which is weird. This whole global pandemic is unusual. And so to be fair, years prior, I have not had a job over the summer. I just, I go volunteer at camp for a month, but I was not getting paid for it. I was just volunteering. And actually last year I volunteered there for a full month, and was it last year or was it the year before? I think it was the year prior where I volunteered up there, and then I'd also volunteered at another camp. So I was still doing stuff over the summer, but I wasn't working. But this summer, I've got none of that. I'm just going to be at home, probably working on some projects, which is essentially what I've been doing for the last month, except without the amount of schoolwork that I've been mixing in amongst my projects. I I spent 2 days making a quilted plague doctor mask. It's not quite done because the lenses have yet to arrive, because I need lenses for it. So you're going to be round lenses from sunglasses. But still, it was only like a 2-day long project. But I still made a plague doctor mask. Because that's like the point I've reached. You know, I've been at home for a month. I barely leave the house because, like, I just don't. I should a little more. I have roller skates downstairs, and every now and then I'll go out and I'll skate down the street on the sidewalk. I've got, you know, cloth face mask and everything, and I will go onto a side street that has like even less people. Street I live on is a boulevard, so it's a lot more car traffic than it is foot traffic. So like occasionally I'll go roller skate, avoid people still. Yeah. Yeah, but this summer's gonna be odd. Hopefully eventually it'll hit the points where I can like see my friends in person. Oh boy, I would really like to see my friends in person. Especially since we all go to different colleges. So over the school year, we live in different places, you know? One of my friends is like, she's not that far away, but she's far enough where I'm like, you know, it's like a whole day excursion to go down there, you know? It's a few hours. And like, that's not exactly like, you know, something you'll do every week. My other friend is actually nearby, but still, you know, when you're at school, you do a little less like inviting friends over, but like that's what you get to do over the summer, especially since like we're all in the same place now, you know? We're all in the same place, but I can't hang out with them because we're all at home, and we're all doing our part, social distancing. I'm just excited to see them again at some point, you know? I'm excited about the prospect of hopefully, maybe at the end of summer, actually seeing them face to face. That would be really nice. Yeah, so anyway, been kneading this dough. Next step is to let it rise, then presumably shape it into a loaf and bake it, presumably. But yeah, so that dough is pretty good. Probably gonna mush it around a little bit more, put it in a bowl, throw a towel over it, and then I'll come back in a few hours.